So we have to look at the camera then.
You have to look at the camera. So yes, okay. Ready? Hello everybody. Good life, good day. Things always go a little bit deeper than one thinks. Awareness and watching is a beautiful tool. And so out of my latest experience, we had to do a protection part 3. And how was that? Piazza, my partner, experienced something and did something, and I let her share.
So I would call this, rather than protection part 3, I would call when you're starting to hate your partner, maybe you should check if he's controlled by a demon. Because, so I work with dowsing. I usually use it before every session that I do. I work with people around trauma, and specifically around trauma, which Vinaya just experienced with putting the machete into his hand. Entities, non-beneficial entities, non-beneficial spirits, and demons have an easier way to get in because our pakpo, as I know Vinaya was explaining to you, our energetic field, can break off a little piece, and or we get holes, right? So this comes from alcohol, drug use, traumas, being in a hospital, which we spent a couple hours in the hospital. And the whole time that I was in the hospital waiting for Vinaya, which was a little bit stressful, I just kept putting a shield around myself to protect myself, because I'm aware that hospitals where people's energetic fields are down because their immune is down and they're in fear, they're in shock, that there's a lot of entities hanging out, and also people sometimes are leaving their bodies there, right? So the following days after this experience, I started noticing that I was asking Vinaya quite often, like, what are you angry about, right? And he's like, I'm not angry. And like, really telling me he's not angry with this totally angry vibe, right? So it took me a bit, because he had talked about that he had put up his protection, and I actually checked myself with dowsing after the hospital experience to make sure I was clear. But for whatever reason, I overlooked checking for him. So we live and learn. So I checked, and I found a demon, which I found a non-beneficial entity, and I found a demon, which in my experience is actually quite rare. And there's a lot more that I'm going to really feel into with my own internal guidance, so that I can actually talk a little bit more in the future about demons and our own inner wounds, our own wounding, because I feel that there is a connection in a way that it's like it's our own demon. You know, nothing is separate from ourselves, as you know, a lot from probably your own experience and from what Vinaya shares in the world. So do you want to say something? Oh, wait.
Yeah, right. You need to finish the story.
Oh, yeah. So the story. So I cleared Vinaya, right? I found the non-beneficial entity, this demon, and I cleared it, which is a very simple process. I teach this in part of my work for some trainings that I do. And it's not complicated. It's basically that when we ask them, we request that they leave, they have to leave. And I tell you that Vinaya's eyes all of a sudden looked different. It was like this film came off, and then all of a sudden he was smiling again, right? You know, we were in a relationship for over 18 years now. So being in a relationship, stuff comes up. We irritate each other, we're in each other's way in the kitchen or whatever, and we can have our own moods. But usually he's a pretty easygoing, happy guy, and he has a sense of humor for German, which is amazing. And I'm taking the piss out of him in this video.
That's all right.
But seriously, I saw all of a sudden he's smiling easily again. And then I'm going to let him tell you this part, right? So
yeah. So
how's it go?
Right. Okay. So why did I also, because I'm actually really pretty quick in putting protection around me and strengthening my field. And in retrospect, I realized that it took me like a little while, even if it was just seconds, after I realized what I've done, to put a shield around me. So that's enough time. So it is a good idea to check. But what happened to me was, after Piazza removed that demon.
Before.
Oh,
You were sitting on
no.
the bed.
Right, no, but I realized it afterwards. After you removed the story, I realized that I remembered I was sitting on my bed.
After I asked him, why are you so mad? Like, what is going on? Why are you being so irritable with me?
And I was wondering, it's like, why am I angry? What is going on? Like, I had a reason in my mind, but that reason wasn't really real. It was like, that didn't even really happen. And it's like, I was flabbergasted, but I stayed angry. There was also like this feeling I had, this like, yeah, but I'm gonna be angry. I don't really know why, but I'm gonna be angry. What I didn't quite realize is that that was not really me. So sometimes, like when you're in the space of like wondering, what am I doing? Maybe have a look-see. Maybe it's really not you. So that was really funny. And yes, I felt an enormous difference a minute after, sort of thing. So yeah, I just had to share this story with all of you, and having Piazza here telling that, because we were also like, we were just eating and then laughing at this whole story, but also being amazed of like where awareness can bring us the tools and the power to be ourselves and be in control of what's going on. And so just having this awareness of how am I really, sort of, yeah, what are my wounds, and am I really angry like this? No, I'm not. So it was also like, yeah, like noticing that something is different. And in the end, it's just an awareness exercise and has nothing really to do with you. And it can override you very easily. So, yeah.
And as Vinaya is always pointing to in many of his videos, I know, is that really there is nothing that is separate from ourselves. So I would suggest that he makes more videos where really talking about and exploring, because it's a very curious thing, and I don't know the answer, because I know that in the ultimate reality, all there is that, right? That's all there is. And so these levels of worlds that we live in, this level of this 3D world, which the Queros in Quechua they call the Uku Pacha. That's part of the Andean cosmovision. The world that we live in here is the Kai Pacha. This is the Kai Pacha, right? And there's more, but I won't go into it here. But so there are different levels of things going on, but in the ultimate reality, it's all us. So looking at the whole thing about demons and non-dimensional entities, how is that also us is, I think, something that would be interesting to explore.
Going down the rabbit hole.
But, we don't claim to know. So, anyway, nice to meet you and be on Vinaya's first video.
Yes, and it went a little bit further than planned, but like when we sat down and had a laugh about the whole story, suddenly it came really that, yes, we need to share this, because it was hilarious in a certain way and very beneficial. So, until next time, and thank you, Mama.
Yes. Ciao.
Ciao.